Thorgy doesn't need a bob to hinder her from making it to the top. Thorgy just needs Thorgy. Girl, get out of your own way. We're back in the workroom after elimination, and Ben Delacreme is giving her best Oscar-winning performance, like crying over the fact that it's so hard for her to send somebody home. And I'm like, Ben, I'm not buying it, right? And neither is Shangela, because she called her boo-boo fish. I'm not buying it because Ben came to play. Ben wants this crown, and Ben Delacreme is doing the work. So I'm not buying it, Ben. I ain't buying it. You playing this game. Go ahead, girl. I'm not hating, but I'm just saying, save them tears for somebody who believes it. So Aja, still holding her lipstick, the queens asked her, who did she pick? And Aja like reveals her lipstick. I picked Chi Chi. I was like, girl, what are you doing? I would have never revealed who I picked. I would have been like, you know what, guys? It's over. Or I just would have lied and said I picked Morgan as well. But I don't know why she said Chi Chi, because now if the tables are turned, Chi Chi will send her home. You got to play this game, baby. So the next day we're in the workroom, and Chi Chi is now saying that there's something that she wanted to say about yesterday that she didn't say that she wants to say now. And I'm thinking that she's going to say something to Aja, right? Then she says that she doesn't think that she was the worst, that she had a much better performance than Milk, who didn't really bring it in her performance. And I don't agree, right? I think that Milk's performance, it wasn't stellar, right? And I know it's something that he does in his shows wherever he lives, right? I get that. But it was still better than your performance, Chi Chi. You got on stage in dirty dance shoes. You did not cinch, like Michelle has constantly been talking to you about your body. Your wig was not even blocked. It looked a mess. It was all over the place. The best thing that you had on was your baton. So you have to stop pushing blame on other people. And Chi Chi, I'm here for you. I was so happy when you were on this season, but I thought that you would bring it. And there's no excuse, right? Because Aja, she just came off her season and Mother was not the best. I don't want to say terrible because I don't want to tear nobody down. But let's just say Aja deserved to go home earlier than she went home. Okay? Yet, she improved drastically. Like you would think that her season was 10 seasons ago. She has improved ridiculously. You have had more seasons than Aja to get it together, and you are coming on this show and you're not showing up. Listen, girl, I'm rooting for you. I just need you to stay in your lane, mind your business, and worry about your performances because you are not prepared. The Maxi Challenge this week is a VH1 Divas live performance dedicated to Rupaul. I am ecstatic about this because remember I told you, I was like, I don't know how they're going to top this episode. And I feel like they are. I really think that Ru put a lot into All Stars because I'm blown away. I'm blown away by the challenges. I'm blown away by how the queens are really bringing, aside from Chi Chi, that was shade. But I'm really like enjoying, this is like a top-notch show. They are really, really bringing it and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So Milk will be portraying Celine. I can actually see it. The nose, I'm just like, I can see Milk doing like a good Celine, especially with the makeup. Aja is going to be Amy Winehouse. I don't know how I feel about that because I feel like Amy Winehouse is kind of difficult to portray if you're not doing her in a mocking way. And I think that Aja, because she was really excited about it, so I think that she's going to do it the respectable way. So I don't know how you can do Amy Winehouse respectfully and have us, the viewing audience, understand. Aside from the wig, you know what I mean? Like there's more things that go into it. So I'm interested to see how she'll play that. Thorgy is going to be Stevie Nicks, and I don't know how I feel about it because I wish that Thorgy would have gotten Liza Minnelli because I feel like Ru was giving the queens people that they can excel in. Like this wasn't, I'm not saying it wasn't a challenge. I'm just saying that I really felt like Ru gave the girls people who he knew that they could do. But I just don't see Thorgy as Stevie Nicks. Like Ben, he gave Ben Julie Andrews. I can see that. Like Ben probably does that impersonation. And then Trixie got Dolly Parton. Makes sense. BB gets Diana Ross. Come on. But Thorgy gets Stevie Nicks now. I'm not going to act like I'm on Team Thorgy with the craziness where she feels like it's a conspiracy to tear her down. But I'm just like, I don't look at Thorgy and see Stevie Nicks. Shangela is Mariah Carey and Chi Chi is Patti LaBelle. What black kid don't know how to portray Patti LaBelle? I'm sorry. I live by a train and it won't shut up. We all all grew up portraying Patti LaBelle, so I just don't think it's just that much of a stretch. But Thorgy being Stevie Nicks, I'm concerned. Oh, and Todrick is doing the rehearsals. I'm excited about this because I know this is going to be good TV. Because one, Todrick don't play. Like Todrick during rehearsals, he's such a sweetie on the panels or whatever. But during rehearsals, Todrick does not play. And I feel like he's going to get these queens together. And especially the queens that struggle with choreography. We gonna get some moments in this one. We gonna get some moments, and I'm looking forward to it. Brilliant idea. Runway redemption. The queens are getting a chance to redo looks that they did not do well the first time they sent them down the runway. And I'm excited about that because I want to see what they're able to bring and how their drag has evolved. I know right off the bat that Aja is just going to knock it out the park because she's just evolved tremendously since her season. And I don't know about anybody else. Ben Delacreme might knock it out the park too because Ben has been killing it. But I'm excited to see just how their drag has evolved and where they are now. Kind of reminds me of Peppermint on her season where she was just like struggling in the runways, and then she came out when it was like the Club Kid runway, and she came out in that Peppermint outfit and blew everybody away. I'm looking forward to a moment like that with the queens on this runway. Queens are getting their outfits together for the VH1 Divas performance dedicated to Ru. And guess who is having a meltdown? Thorgy. I think she has like made up in her head that this show in particular is trying to make her fail. But I feel like if it wasn't this show, it would be something else with Thorgy. And I think that she gets in her own way. She makes these enemies of other people when really her biggest enemy is herself, because she's talking to Shangela about how she feels like because she's coming after her, she won't do well, and that Stevie Nicks is not a drag icon. So, you know, Mariah is and Stevie isn't. And I'm just like, where have you been? Like, how do I know that Stevie Nicks is like up there with the girls? Like, Stevie Nicks, have you never, like, I don't understand. Have you never been to a drag show, especially one in New York City? Everybody does Stevie Nicks. Like, her look alone is just something that is very recognizable. I wouldn't say that she's a drag icon. I think she's just a freaking icon. I grew up learning about Stevie Nicks as a kid. My parents didn't even listen to her music. She was just everywhere. She still is. She's very relevant. And there's so many things about her that you can pull from. I even think that she was on this show. So to like disrespect her like that, to just make it seem like other divas are bigger than her, I don't know. I just felt like Thorgy shot her own self in the foot. And I also felt like she just wasn't excited about having Stevie Nicks. And she wanted somebody else like Mariah Carey. I guess somebody who maybe she wanted somebody who was younger, or maybe she wanted somebody who had like R&B or rap hits. I don't know what it was. I didn't like how she kind of dismissed the legendariness of Stevie Nicks, and also how she tried to make it other people's fault that she wasn't happy with what she was given instead of taking the challenge and killing it. So Milk is bigging herself up, saying that she is going to kill this Celine impersonation and that somebody told her. I'm laughing because of how Shangela read her in her confessional. Milk is saying that somebody told her that that was the best Celine impersonation that they've ever seen when she performed it. And then Shangela is just like, Milk was feeling herself because a friend of 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 another friend told her that she does a good Celine. But that's what I was getting from Milk. I'm like, you are hella hyped. You better kill it. Now, if you get up on that stage and choke, then that friend or whoever told you that you did the damn thing as Celine was lying to you. Now, why on earth is she picking Celine's Met look? Nobody remembers that. And I love Celine Dion. I don't remember anything about her look at the Met Gala. I can't even remember Met Galas. There are so many, and the fashions are always drastic every year. This year's fashion knocks out the previous year. Like, you can't keep up because they're all so drastic and gorgeous. Having said that, I do remember Rihanna's. I think it was when the theme was, I think it was this Japanese designer. I remember that look, but I don't really remember anything else. Like, there's Met Galas all the time, and there's so much fashion coming out of all of them. You can't keep up, and I just don't remember anything that Celine has done. I think it was Trixie who was just like, you should do the backwards pantsuit, because that is something iconic. Like, people remember that because that was the first time that something like that was scene on the runway. It didn't get best dressed, but it was just like, scene on the red carpet, I mean. But it was something that was memorable. Her Met Gala look, nobody remembers it. So Shangela has me cracking up with this Mariah method acting impersonation. I get it, right? I think it's hilarious, but I'm like, boo, pull it back, because Todrick don't play in these rehearsals. You should know better. Is it me, or did Shangela and Milk's reads of each other seem to be a little nice nasty? And I don't like that, because first of all, they're in my top 5, and I don't want them beefing, because they're good queens, and I think that they could actually make good friends. But I think the issue is the both of them are stuck up. Let's be real. Like, let's tell the truth and shame the devil. Shangela and Milk think that they are the best thing that has ever happened to drag. And that's great to have that confidence, but I think that's why they're clashing, because they both have huge egos and they don't like it in other people, but they can't see it in themselves. Another thing that was odd to me was that the queens were coming for BB in the rehearsal concerning her Diana Ross impersonation, but I'm looking at it and I'm just like, that's Diana Ross to me. Diana Ross don't do a lot. She's never been a dancing diva, but she's been one with a lot of pointing, a lot of mannerisms, a lot of stuff with her hair, a lot of stuff with her arms. Like, Diana has always been from the top up. That's where all of her, like from her belly button up, that's where all of her movement is. So I don't know what they were expecting BB to do as Diana Ross that wasn't spot on from what she was doing. Ben is struggling, and I'm not surprised that Ben is struggling with choreography, because like I said before, Ben can't dance at all. But Ben is funny. Ben knows comedy, and I would be surprised if she goes home. I have to talk to you guys about this part, because I thought it was going to go another way. So everybody is talking about how they thought the other person was on their season, and different queens are just like, so what did you think about me? How was I? How have I evolved? Light, fun conversation. The queens are having a good time. Then Thorgy goes, what did you guys think of me on my season? It got dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. Everybody turns around and starts fixing their face. Nobody is taking the bait. Chi-Chi, I thought you were jealous of Bob. I was like, oh my gosh, please. This is all Thorgy needs. She's already in her head, tearing herself down, making Shangela or any queen doing well her Bob. Why would you mention that to her? However, she took it in a way that I didn't expect. I really feel like she matured from that moment, and she said, you know what? I knew that Bob was fabulous. I said it to Bob when I first saw him perform. I knew that he was amazing. It was me. She took responsibility for it, and I was very shocked, because I'm like, girl, why can't you see it now that you're... But, you know, she did mention it in her confessional that this is just who she is, and I feel so bad, because I think Thorgy is so talented, and I feel like she just messes up great opportunities for herself because she just doesn't think that she's good enough. And even if you say, Thorgy, that's an amazing job, I think that she will think that you're just telling her that and not really believing that she's done a good job. And that happens a lot with prodigies, with people who are very smart, very talented. When their intellect is above the norm, they stay in their head, and they literally pick away at themselves if they are not perfect, because they've spent their lives competing with people who are just on a whole nother level. And I think that's what's happening with Thorgy, is that she's getting around people who are great at what they do, and excelling in an area where she thought that she would do well because she's a prodigy and she does well in everything. That's what I think is happening. She's found a lane that she loves, but she's not the best. And that's her problem. So instead of working hard to get there, she'll tear herself down and say that she's not good enough. But Thorgy, you have it. You're on Rupaul's Drag Race All-Stars. You've gotten onto Drag Race. I know drag queens who have spent years trying to get on Drag Race and still have not been able to get on. Girl, you got to find the confidence in yourself, because you're going to hold yourself back from so many great opportunities. And this season is one of them. You may not agree, Twitter may not agree, but I love Ru's look tonight on the runway. That sequin tear dress and those tight curls. Like, whoever is doing her hair this season, I don't know if it's the same person, But they are killing it. I'm loving how the wigs are sitting. I'm loving how nothing is out of place. Like, she looks perfect. Vanessa Williams is a vision. Gorgeous. Like, she just sits in beauty. You know what I mean? And she doesn't age. For a light skin, that's unheard of. So let's talk about Milk as Celine. I knew it. In my gut, I knew that Milk was going to be trash because she was given this edit that she was going to knock it out the park. And the way the room was reading her confidence, I knew that something was not right. And this Celine impersonation, it could have been anybody. It did not look like Celine. Like, the wig was a horrible choice. The outfit was a horrible choice. Like, I mean, it wasn't memorable. If that's what Celine wore to the Met Gala, I don't know. I mean, it's a no from me, Milk. I'm sorry, and I'm rooting for you. You're in my top 5, baby. You got to get it together. He was right. She said that Milk should have went with something memorable, and Milk didn't. Like, why, if not the backwards pantsuit, why not go for her Grammys look? That look was trending for weeks. Remember, she wore this, like, white cinch gown with these, like, bellowed, huge sleeves. She looked amazing. That was one of the looks that put her out in front of fashion, because remember, she was not hitting it. She was not hitting it for a very long time. Even that backwards pantsuit where she thought that she was killing with that hat cocked to the side, that got her on the worst dress list. So her fashions were not there. So I don't know why you would pick a fashion of Celine Dion before she was hitting it. Anything before her stylist Law Roach is trash. You should have started at Law and worked your way down. Like, I don't... Get it together, Milk. You in my top 5. There's Kennedy Davenport. Mother, what happened? I believe Kennedy. Kennedy said, I don't know how to do other people's choreography. I'm not a trained dancer. I only know how to do what I know how to do. And I believe Kennedy, because this Janet performance was dreadful, okay? She didn't know the words. She was not confident about her movement. She kept on looking down at her feet. The only thing she did well was that split thing that she always does with the legs. Everything else, it was like she gave me a little bit of Janet. I could see it, but I mean, her look was more on point than Milk's, but that's not saying a lot. And then she started off on the wrong foot and waited too late to correct herself, because as soon as she corrected herself, the cameraman got like dead center on her. I'm like, why didn't you correct yourself when Milk was standing right in front of the camera so we would not have caught it? Aja really impressed me, because like I said before, I was interested to see how she would play Amy Winehouse without mocking her. And she did a good job. She had the facial expressions, the hair, the outfit. I thought that Aja did a good job. I don't think it was good enough for her to win, but I think that it was good enough for her to be safe. Chi-Chi is Patti LaBelle. It was okay, right? Chi-Chi got some mannerisms. Like, okay, I like Chi-Chi's Patti LaBelle from hair up. I didn't like the dress. I didn't like how her body was, because Patti LaBelle, even when she was skinny, had body. I wanted more hips. I wanted a bigger booty. I wanted a better, like, Patti LaBelle always, if you weren't going to do Patti LaBelle when she was in her Voulez-vous say Ache Soir, Moulin Rouge, if you weren't going to do Patti during that time, like the Creole Lady Marmalade Patti, then you should have done, like, Grande Dame Fabulous Patti with the gowns. That's all she wore after her Lady Marmalade phase. You know, after she got out of the group, she became like this gown wearer and had crazy nails. And you took from that era where she had the big hair and the crazy nails. I would have wanted more bold eyeshadow, because she was very bold with her eyeshadow and played with her eyebrows. And I don't know, I just wanted more. And I got like a glimpse of Patti, and I wanted more, and I thought that Chi-Chi was going to be able to do it, because I felt like it was a very easy person to do, especially if you're black, because that is like a queen to us. I mean, she's an icon, period, but, you know, Patti LaBelle is just one of the people that we all know how to do, from the newborns to the old people, you know what I mean? We all know how to do Patti, so I wasn't impressed. course, Trixie did a great job. I was not surprised that she did a killer Dolly Parton. She is Dolly Parton. Even with 2 left feet, Trixie still got her moves down. See, so it's no excuse, Kennedy. It's no excuse. If Trixie was able to land her marks, you should have as well. So, Shangela, like the performance, I wanted more Mariah. I really, really did. I didn't think that she went as far as she could go. Like, she came to rehearsal with the shades. I was expecting the Mariah shades. I don't know why she didn't do that. And I wanted her to have more padding too, more body. Because if you're going to do, like, you have to pick which Mariah you were going to do. And I felt like Shangela did like an overall Mariah, but a lot of her singing and her bit was the now Mariah, the diva who is just like, I've made my point. I don't need to do anything else. You're going to just see me sit here and be carried around. That was what her bit was pulled from, and she gave me a mixture of Mariah. Like, Mariah don't do all that dancing, you know what I mean? Mariah is a little thicker now. Mariah, you know, her movements are, but I just wanted more of that, and I just didn't get it. But I do agree with Thorgy. Not that the competition is set up for her to fail, but Shangela got a hilarious bit. Like, her Mariah Carey bit, Shangela could have sat there and not done anything, and we still would have been laughing, because that was a bit, in my opinion, that was set up for somebody to win. Not saying that it's a setup, but that one, I felt like all the writers in the room was really excited about writing that Mariah bit. You know what I mean? Ben, like I said last week, Ben came to play. This performance, I was just like, from the rehearsal to this performance, Ben is killing it, guys. You know, I don't know where Ben went. I don't know where in Seattle Ben was hiding, but Ben was prepping. Ben was preparing. Ben was working out, because Ben is a little slimmer now. Ben was getting it together. Ben was preparing for something big. I don't know if Ben was preparing for All-Stars, whatever it was. Ben put in the work, and Ben is showing up. I came into watching this not even having been on my radar, but I'm like, I'm blown away by Ben. And Aja, like, Ben and Aja, I have my eye on them. I've always had my eye on Shangela, but Ben and Aja are just really showing up this season. Now let's get into the runway. I need to download that song tonight. Milk's look. It's a no from me, honey. I actually prefer the look that she remixed compared to this. This is just a basic Marshalls gown, and not hating on Marshalls. I have some fabulous outfits from Marshalls, but it was just like, this is Drag Race All-Stars. I thought that she was gonna knock it out the park and not wear something, dare I say, pedestrian. Aja, my love, my darling, I'm so glad that she remixed that fire crotch demonic troll look from her season. That was a hot mess. When Aja wore that look on her season, I was just like, yeah, you need to go home. You're not ready. This look that she remixed, bravo, girl. Bravo. I am so proud of Aja. Chi-Chi's look was cute. It was a lot better than the look that she wore the first time. So the remix look was cute. It just seemed very basic and pedestrian, like something you could get at a store. Like, when you watch the runway of Drag Race and All-Stars, you're looking at garments and gowns that you have to be a royal to wear, or you could never imagine seeing anything like that. Like, the looks are supposed to give you a reaction when you watch it, and that's a reaction of, oh my God, you know what I mean? I saw that look and I was just like, Chi-Chi, what? Trixie's look was okay. I was not mad at it. Kennedy's look was great too. I felt like Kennedy needed to have this kind of reveal and runway, because Kennedy's performance wasn't that great. So I felt like Kennedy knew her performance wasn't that great, so she probably put a lot of work into her outfit and her reveal, which was actually pretty good. I liked it. Is going to walk away with this crown. Mark my words. Shangela, you have got to bring it, because Ben is at your heels, boo. This pink cinch waist, like, pinup girl look that Ben was wearing, I was like, I want that tonight. You know what? Ben also looked like, I think of the makeup with the hair, and I don't know, maybe how she blocked her wig. She was giving me Michelle Visage. Did you guys see that? BB, a queen. That's it. A queen. I don't know if she's going to win this competition because she's been safe, but royal. Shangela in that snow globe, in this outfit. Girl. Bravo. Vast improvement. Because I've always loved Shangela because of her energy or whatever, but she was struggling. She was struggling in the looks. She didn't know how to do her wigs. Her makeup was questionable. And they even showed you a shot of it from her season. And it was like, ooh, but she looks great. She looks great, and she is really putting in the work. So Ben, Shangela, and BB are tops. Not surprised at all because BB's look was ridiculous. She was giving me Viola Davis on How to Get Away with Murder, but with a dash of The Devil Wears Prada. Like, it was just work, BB, work. Kennedy, Thorgy, and Chi-Chi are on the bottom. Not surprised. Milk is safe and pissed the hell off. Like, girl, you live another day. Like, why are you complaining? That hissy fit that you're having in the back is so unprofessional and so disrespectful to the people who are probably sweating bullets because they think that they're going home. If you are not okay with being safe, then you should have switched places with one of the girls who were at the bottom and been like, listen, if I gotta fight for it, I'll fight for it, but you guys need to recognize me. If not, shut up and respect the queens who may go home. Ben and Shangela are at the top. Not surprised at all. I feel like these two are probably going to duke it out in the end. Unless we get some twists where old queens are coming back, I don't know. But I feel like these two are going to make it to the top. And I think my final three at the end, at this point, are Shangela, Ben, and Aja. I really feel like they are all putting in the work to make it to the top three. I don't know about the other queens. I don't know. They maybe slide BB in there over Aja. I don't know. Because BB is just loved. And she just has a presence that, I don't know. Like, all the judges, when she comes onto the runway, their hearts, like, stop. They are, like, in awe of her. So, I don't know. But those are the queens for me that are putting in the work to make it to the top. So, Chi-Chi is safe. And then it's Kennedy and Thorgy who are at the bottom. Not surprised at all. It's one of their times, you know what I mean? Kennedy died down in this episode, and Thorgy just shot her own self, you know what I mean? Like, nobody messed up Thorgy. Thorgy messed up Thorgy. I think they both got in their heads. I think Kennedy got in her head about the choreography, and Thorgy just got in her head about the competition because that's what Thorgy does. So anyway, we go back to the workroom, and I just didn't expect Thorgy to start crying. I just didn't think, have we ever seen her cry in her season? I'm not sure. I've seen Thorgy have a hissy fit and pout, but I just never seen her cry. You know, it's a huge deal, right? To be on All Stars and to win. I get it and I understand, but you gotta bring it. You really, really do have to bring it. And I think that Thorgy brought her best drag. And sometimes your best drag isn't good enough for a drag race. That's all it is. But I think that this is something that's just going to beat up on Thorgy because she likes to be perfect. She's a prodigy, so she likes to be at the top of everything all the time, and that's just not reality. She's talking to my girl Shangela, who was playing the game, and I'm happy to see somebody finally playing the game and voicing it, because Ben is playing the game, but Ben not voicing it. But Shangela is trying to like bring, you know, trying to get some alliance together, but I don't think that Shangela is going to send Kennedy home. They have way too much of a history. And I just think for Shangela, and especially for Kennedy, sisterhood is more important than this competition. I know everybody needs money, but I just feel like that relationship is too strong for Shangela to send Kennedy home. Then Thorgy gets to Ben, and I'm thinking that she's going to try to, you know, form an alliance too or whatever, or say something to save herself. But then she says to her, like, right at the end, I'm thinking she's doing really good. She says to Ben, if you don't pick me, I love you, but I don't know how I'm going to react. Like, I'm just like, are you like threatening Ben that you're going to have like a hissy fit and like hate him after? What? I don't know. I just felt like Thorgy messed herself up in that area. And that's probably why she ended up going home, because Ben and Shangela do the lip sync for Your Legacy. And I don't know. At first, I thought that Ben had it because Ben was cracking up the judges. But I think when Ben started to copy what Shangela was doing, the shtick that he does got old for me, and I just didn't like it. I wish he was a bit more original. But I think, to be honest with you, Ben just got winded. and Ben was just tired, and Ben just tried to make a joke of it. But Shangela pushed through, and Shangela actually won, and Shangela sent Thorgy home. Nobody's surprised. She was not sending home Kennedy. But then we get the twist again with Thorgy. So I don't know if Thorgy's going home. I don't know what it is. I don't know if the eliminated queens are going to be able to vote on which queen stays. I don't know, but I'm excited about it. And I was really excited about this episode. This was a really, really good episode. And next week is going to be just as messy and just as eventful. And I'll be there to review it. And I hope that you will join me so we can discuss it in the comments section below. And if you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you for the following episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. Bye, queens.